Hey viewers, and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall the Director's Cut. Or, right now, as I like to call it, our cyber zombie kills freaking everybody. So, we're gonna keep going with that. Now I've got all the cameras to myself again. Actually, can I check his character screen? I can. Known etiquettes, hotshot decker, part-time rigger, full-time smartass, syntax error. Interesting. Wow, 15 strength, so that's impossible. 9 quickness, no charisma, 1 intelligence, 11 body, 10 for close combat melee weapons, essence -3. And again, viewers, that should never get lower than 1 or you die. But here the poor bastard is, still standing. Oh. Messy, terrible stuff. Well, as ugly as this is going to get, I think we're going to have to fight these guys whether we want to or not, viewers. That's a rigger? Can't really tell. Let's see what happens if I run by. Can I run all the way up here? Okay, so Blitz is out of his hacking thing. Nope, I guess they didn't see me. This could be the greatest ninja move of all time, viewers. Maybe. Just maybe. Glory, adrenaline pump up. Let's see if we can just run right by him here. Go, go, go. Yeah, I'll totally skip that fight if I'm given the option here. Target spotted engaging, so there's the remote control rig guy again. Put some bullets on him. That definitely counts as putting some bullets on him, yeah. Okay, and let's aim shot. 80% chance, and you blew it. Unexpected. Okay, where's my drone? Going live. Come on, little guy. Let's spread out so we don't eat too many grenades. Oh, there are a lot of you there. Wow, you're really going for position. Aren't you? I hope this rigger takes more than one turn to establish control. God, look at them all. Override in progress. I'm gonna say no to that, actually. Can I make it there and chop him? No. Alright, well, let's go with, override signal lost. That's what I wanted to hear, actually. That one here is flanked, huh? Grenadier, Enforcer. Actually, what I should be doing? I should be healing you. Ugh. Gunfire is the worst. Hello, giant. Oh, Toxic Spirit. Okay, first things first. Put some bullets into you. Put some bullets into you. One damage. Yay. Honestly, 91% chance. There we go. 90. What happened to 91% chance? Seriously, game. I don't understand you sometimes. Yeah, you better run. Oh, wow. Buddy went down. Okay, so I know what you're doing with your first turn. Your flanks. That's what you get. Double miss. Glory. Thank you, Glory. Okay, super. That's what's that? Target head. No. Target Knight Errant Captain. And a miss. Okay, you know what? 39% chance. Who cares? Target hit. Game, I don't think you understand how percentages work. Let's get you out of there, Dietrich. You're in a lot of pain. No more of this mage crap. Yeah, I got the job done. And then some. Oh, I forgot this guy up here. Crap. Oh. Stop flanking my troll. Thing. Monster. Swing this. Look at this guy, he just keeps filling Renairen full of bullets. Sorry if I said Kale there for a second. I don't think I did, but... Fall back and regroup. Hell with that. Stab. Stab. You got the cripple move. Yeah. Nice. Minus 3 AP. Very nice. Miss. 1 damage. Can you heal yourself yet? No? Okay. Well, haste yourself. You weren't even close. Like, nowhere in a million years were you close to that. Okay, you know what? This person's getting all smart, so stab them in the head with a giant axe. Oh, that sounded meaty. It's like, and now we have to run. Wait, you're not falling back. This is the opposite of falling back. You're, in fact, I think this is called advancing. Just look at them all, viewers. We would never have a chance against this many Knight Errant without the Mark 6. Well, you're not even hurt anymore either because... Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, that was stupid. I don't know why I hit end turn, viewers. Meant to switch from Dietrich's turn to someone else. Instead, I gave them a free round to advance on us without any answering fire. Conjurer, Sniper, Enforcer. Do you have a Rigger? No, you do not. Dietrich, if you'd be so kind. Thank you. No cover for either of these ley lines, I don't think. So let's just stay where we are. Let the drone continue to be useless in our place. Meanwhile, back in Crazy Town. So freaking terrifying, viewers. You know, I think you should just take some cover. And bang bang. Nice. Oh boy. Pissed off fire spirit. Oh, that's not good. Got a grenade launcher. Not in that much cover. Don't get cocky. Achievement progress, come forth. Pestilence. Gross. What the? It's like a... Ugh, whatever it is, it's awful and gross. Nice. Improved accuracy on him. So let's put a bullet in him, and him, and him, and him. Nice. No, probably not gonna hit anyone else, but... Oof. Good finish, Glory. Miss. Miss. Rock solid cover back there. Alright, need to reload. Shoot all the bullets. Maybe none of the bullets. Sniper looks kind of bored. Hey, sniper! Pay attention. Nice. I think I can move in now. 69% chance to hit. That guy's got some serious defenses. Not enough. Alright. Miss. And miss. Yep. Okay, how many AP can I give you before you freak out? 6% chance to break free. Alright, Pestilence. Poison darts. Acid stream. Let's move you up there. That is so gross. Zoom in on this guy here, viewers. Ugh. Nice. Acid damage minus 6 HP around. Let's see, let's give some haste to Glory. Can't. Renairen we can. Which means he can reload his gun now. Alright, Troll. Cyber zombie thing. Get in there. And wreck face. Chop. 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 Hey, medkit. Ow. And you shot your teammate. Oh, you're the worst. Can I hit everyone here? Is it everyone? Nope, but it got the job done. That did not get the job done. How are you in cover? Oh, whatever. Anyhow, full auto burst. 94% chance to hit. Good night. Alright, Blitz, time to get moving. Glory, just finish this guy off. Nope. Yes! Go, drone! I will banish you. 21% chance to escape. Besides, we got to see how creepy those things look now, so mission accomplished. Regular bullet. Sure, Blitz, go for it. Nice. So there's no one left, which means we can probably run Glory down here. discontinue our droning ways. Anyone here hurt? Wounded 3, wounded 12. Or like an electro bolt. Still didn't kill him, huh? Try that. Fight's over, which means you guys don't count anymore. Because I totally ninja'd past you and you didn't hear the devastation. I'm absolutely fine with that. So, interesting fact, viewers. If I hadn't pissed off the Black Lodge, there would be a second van here. And I could turn the cyber zombie over to it. Or rather, to the lodge. Okay, here we go. You step into the garage, prototype in tow. Herr Schmidt's van awaits. Decisions, huh, Chief? He shakes his head. Can't say they like the idea of handing this thing over to Schmidt. Lord knows what he's going to do with it. I agree with Blitz. There's a living troll buried under all that chrome. Thanks, Glory, but, well, it's your call, boss. Can't say I envy you the decision. As you approach the Mark 6, its head turns to track you. Its body is held at rigid attention. God, that's eerie. It's almost like it's waiting for something. Well, as Glory mentions, she can disable the Mark 6's control circuits, give it free will, so let's do that. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Glory takes a moment to examine the protrusion at the base of the Mark 6's spine. Then she pops the case in the cyber zombie's control unit. Her sculpted fingers flicker and dance in the Mark 6's circuitry. A moment later, a strange shiver runs through its body. It stumbles forward, lurching awkwardly on its feet. A few seconds later, it seems to recover. It stares at its hands for a moment, then turns to face you. The Mark 6 speaks 2 words. Its voice is as brittle as broken glass. Thank you. Slowly, mechanically, the cyber zombie reaches up to grip its head in both hands, and it squeezes. Caught in the vice-like grip of those heavy, industrial cyber arms, the Mark 6's cyber skull might as well be made of tinfoil. The air fills with the tortured sounds of tearing plastic and buckling steel. The Mark 6 gives a final heave, and its armored skull crumples like a paper cup. Its body goes slack, and it topples to the ground, dead. Blitz stares down at the Mark 6's ruined skull, his eyes wide. Well, that was unexpected, and also disgusting. Glory's voice is quiet, reflective. Not as bad as letting him continue to suffer. He clearly wanted to die. Blitz shrugs. Well, guess we might as well load the body into the van. Herr Schmidt won't be happy, but it's better than nothing. The back of Herr Schmidt's van is easily roomy enough to hold the corpse of the Mark 6. Send the Mark 6's body back to your client. Objective complete. Escape with the prototype. Well, client's gonna be pissed, but with Glory there, I just couldn't keep that thing alive in front of her. I mean, she's definitely not a cyber zombie herself, but she's the one with the most chrome in the team. And really, if she'd gone much further, she could have come... Well, she could have been that. Except without the corporation giving it Formula 17, she probably would have died. Another happy mission in the world of Shadowrun, viewers. I meant to read this, sorry. The U-Bahn feels especially cramped on your ride back to the cruise bazaar. In your mind's eye, you can still see the carnage that you left behind at the AG Chemi building. Memories replay themselves over and over in your mind. Fleeting visions of a hulking thing made of muscle and chrome. You put them aside, shelve them for later. The job is over. It's time to collect your pay. Oh, I hear the familiar sound of dinging karma. Optional, return the data to the Shockleacher payphone. Your PDA rings and the face of your fixer, Paul Amsel, appears on screen. I have uncovered some terrible information. The team is assembled in the safe house. Please meet with us there when you are able. What do you think? Beckenbauer. Hey, Beckenbauer. Taking any donations? No? How about donations policies? How's Alexander doing? Adjusting? Nothing else to say? Okay, bye. Now I've got a... What do I do with Shocklin-Reater? Freedom of information, viewers, but I'm going to do it because of the karma, which leads me in-game to suspect that this is a good deed. On the other hand, all that stuff being out there, public record. Scary stuff. The machine accepts the upload, and only a few moments later, a certified cred stick is spat out of the coin slot. The phone's old LCD reader displays the text, Freedom, Equality, Information, Shocklin-Reater. Well, there you go, viewers. Formula 17. That visual data of the devastation caused by the troll. All that technology, all that info out there for the taking. Can't say if it'll be better or worse. The bright side, I have more than 27 million to my name now, so that's a plus. First things first, viewer, I gotta tip the dancer. My little neuroses continues as planned. What's Kami got to say? She grins at you all sparking mischief. Hey there, how you been? Not so good. Oh, no, listen. I've got to do something right now, but call me later and we'll chat over coffee, okay? Be well. How you been? Things are alright. Good. I hope they stay that way. Let me know if they don't, though, alright? I'm always up to help. For now, gotta help Altug more, though. See you later, yeah? How about could be worse? Can't it always? Be well, mein Freund. Be well. And I will continue to mispronounce all the German in this game because I'm not German and don't know the language at all. As you approach the counter, you find Absinthe counting a bundle of antique paper money in the till. She doesn't bother looking up. Renairen, when you speak with the men who are not men, the fleshy puppets imprisoned in glass, you must remember that they dream. They may not be real people, by your definition of the term, but they do have dreams. That alone makes them worth saving. What you said last time came true. How did you know that? Remember, carnage and blood followed by a massive thing she could not see. She couldn't see the cyber zombie because it had no essence. It was a dead space in magic and prophecy. You are confused. I didn't know anything. I saw. What I shared with you was an observation, nothing more. That's all I needed. Be well, human. Question for Algernon? What can you tell me about the adversary? He raises an eyebrow. The shamanic idol, you mean? An unusual request. Why do you wish to know? It's a long story. Suffice it to say that someone I know has had dealings with the thing. Interesting. He stands idle for a moment, considering. First, tell me what you already know. I will then do my best to fill the gaps. Well, from what I've heard, the adversary is essentially a devil figure. Ah, I see. Very well, young human. I will tell you what I know. The adversary is the totemic embodiment of rebellion. It is an anarchist and a usurper, a betrayer, and a symbol of defiance. It is a proud idol, utterly sure of itself and its mission. The majority of its followers are arrogant and cruel, not the most pleasant of people, truth be told. That said, the adversary can be interpreted in different ways, just as any idol or totem can. He offers you a half shrug. Some of its followers are worse than others. But they're all bad, right? Not necessarily. After all, rebellion can be a positive force if it is harnessed by the oppressed. If I wanted to topple an authoritarian regime, I could think of worse allies to have at my side. That said, trusting the adversary would be a mistake. It is a treacherous idol, and all of its alliances are temporary. This is muddying the waters a little too much for my tastes. I was happier when I thought the adversary was the devil. He shrugs with his broad shoulders. We live in a complicated world. The Christian tradition that much of Germany adheres to would argue that the adversary is Lucifer, yes, but many other traditions would disagree. Personally, I feel that calling the adversary a devil is an oversimplification of the truth. It is both more and less than Christian doctrine would have you believe. But this is a question for the philosophers. And now, young human, I have a question for you. No, not a question, a request. I would like you to tell me about your friend's dealings with the adversary, and I would like you to be thorough. I can't do that. The story was told to me in confidence. A fact that I can appreciate, but I want to know what the adversary has been up to, and after all the help I've offered you, I think that you owe me the information. You don't need to put a name to your friend. Give him or her an alias if you wish. But tell me the story, so that I might better guide you on the road ahead. Well, if it'll help Glory, tell him Glory's story. Alright then, strap in. Ooh, Fade to Black. This was a long one. After hearing your story, the Talismonger leans back in silent contemplation. Well, considering your friend's upbringing, it's no surprise that she views the adversary as a devil figure. She's interpreting her experiences through the lens that she was given. So what I'm getting from you is that she's oversimplifying things. I wouldn't tell her that. Indeed, I wouldn't attempt her to dissuade from her ideas at all. My interpretation may be different from hers, but that isn't to say it's the right one. Don't worry, I won't try to change her mind. I doubt that you could if you tried. The elf pauses, stroking his beard in quiet contemplation. The silence stretches for several seconds before he continues. I find this Harrow figure, the leader of your friend's old commune, to be deeply troubling. He is clearly a toxic shaman, working in the service of his own warped view of the adversary. What do you mean by toxic shaman? I'm unfamiliar with the term. In the magic community, a shaman is referred to as toxic when he twists his idol's principles in order to cause harm. Some toxic shamans are eco-terrorists, protecting nature with deadly force. Others are essentially rabid, slavering things that hunt and kill with wild abandon. I don't believe that Harrow fits into either category. From what you've described, he genuinely venerates the adversary, or at least his own view of what the adversary should be, and he has been rewarded with power for that devotion. He will make a formidable enemy should you choose to face him. You say that he serves his own view of the adversary. Don't idols care what their followers do in their names? To an extent, yes. The adversary wouldn't abide one of its followers attempting to bolster the strength of an authority figure, for example. But idols and totems can exhibit a broad range of behaviors, and men such as Harrow hide in the extreme ends of that range. Technically, his interpretation of the adversary is the adversary, but only the worst aspects of it. I agree with your assessment. Harrow sounds like bad news. Bad news. Yes, that's one way of putting it. Such men have been responsible for many terrible things in the awakened world, and they are not to be confronted lightly. I'll be careful. I trust that you will. He inclines his head in a low nod. Best of luck to you and your friend, both. Wow, that's some bad news. Although maybe it means I'll get a chance to take Harrow out. Help Glory overcome her past. Can always hope, right? Hey, Luca. Got anything to say? Still a lovely day. Boy, I wish I could put a bullet in your head. Welcome back, honored Effendim. How may I serve you? Cheap booze. Found this liquor in my travels. Worth anything? No. Not quite. I received cases of this for less discerning clientele. I could offer you maybe 10 new yen? Sure, I've got no use for it. Glad I could be of service. Just killing time. I'll be going now. I wonder how much the good stuff's worth. Malite. Got anything for me? Nope. Nothing. Alright, well, let's find out about this terrible news that Paul's got. Oh yeah, I can't even talk to anyone. Wow. Well, first things first. Time to get paid. priorities, viewers. One new message. Well, the screen flickers to life and Malik's face appears. She wears a plastic smile. Hoi again, Renairen. Well, I've recovered one last DVD for you, but I'm afraid that's all you're going to get. You might as well use the rest as coasters. They're all beyond repair. If you look on the table beside your DVD player, you'll find the disc that I salvaged. She pauses. A slight frown crosses her face. To be completely honest, that was a lie. To recover this last disc, I was forced to subcontract. Schradi is still a brute of a man. I am unimpressed with his manner. His poor hygiene disgusts me. But he's very good with old things such as this. All credit where it's due. Ah, that's the hobo. Guess it's a good thing I didn't threaten him. Open the jobs directory. Claim payments. You submit the job as finished and await your client's response. Ha! That's it. A few moments later, a message pops on the screen. To call your work unsatisfactory would be an understatement. When I said that we wanted a prototype, it should have gone without saying that we wanted it intact and operational. You technically fulfilled the terms of our arrangement, so you will get paid, but don't ever expect to work for us again. Payment details: 22,500 minus 6 for crew, minus 1,500 for ammunition, minus 11,000 for Alice funds, 3,750 sent to Renairen's account. Well, Ash Technology is still live. Not the BBS. Oop, sold pay data. Sharing Pharma AG Chemical Research data. 387 isn't bad. Relevant keywords. Formula 17. We just put that up on the net. So we've all seen this one floating about the tricks. This is some serious stuff. It's got heavy-duty core written all over it. Not a lot of players could be behind something like this. Ares or SK would be one of the big pharma corps, say Shearing or AGC. It's AGC, of course. We just came from there. It's from Tolstoy. Of course, you can never totally discount the Azzies either, from Ruby. Tolstoy, my esteemed colleague, this is indeed a recipe for some top-shelf dreck. Whispers from the shadows say that this is sourced straight from the F-State. The Smiling Bandit. Hello, boys. I'm a big fan. You know, long-time reader, first-time poster. Quite an interesting concoction you have there. I'm just itching to cook some up. So many interesting properties to play with. I've already got a few tweaks in mind for my own special version 2.0 from Brewmeister. You sure you want to do that? This stuff doesn't play nice, and corps are really bad at sharing their toys. The Smiling Bandit. You can, of course, always share their secrets for them. Just gotta make sure that you run a little faster than them. Clockwork. Always running, eh, Clockwork? Like clockwork. Bandit, I'm touched by your concern, but don't you worry about little old me. I do declare this shall be ever such fun. From Brewmeister. Please help me find my daughter. Please help me find my daughter. She ran away from home. She is human in her early 20s with short blonde hair and data jack. She was last seen wearing a light blue dress. Raid Mother 004. This is not exactly the place to be looking for missing kids. How did you even get in here? From Wraithlike 44. I paid good money to get on here. I was told people could help. Raid Mother 4. If you've got Nguyen, you came to the right place. I sent you a number you can reach me at. From Ruby. The old help me find my missing kid routine. A classic. From Maelstrom. My money is on escaped wage slave. From Wraithlike. Make sure you do your homework, Ruby. From Tolstoy. Drogenkite banking woes. Looks like there's been a good old-fashioned bank heist in Drogenkeep. One of those old defunded banks still had some funds in it, apparently. Whoever was responsible waltzed right in and transferred away a whole load of Nguyen. That was a run with Blitz. That's from Tolstoy. That's not all. A pal of mine had been contracted to do some work for one of the other lending establishments in the area. When he went in to meet with his contract, all he found was a couple of shell casings and a troll-sized pool of blood. Well, I guess our buddy got a hold of Grinder after all. The Smiling Bandit. Huh. I'd always assumed that banking was a boring job. From ProShot. Sounds pretty action-packed to me. You've got a break-in, a big score, what looks like a revenge killing. All of that, plus a steady paycheck. What more could you want? Maelstrom. If you need to be, I'll be putting in an application to my nearest savings and loan. ProShot. What's the Alice fund looking like? 40,000, we need 50. Yeah, almost there. Let's see here. Do we have more pay data for sale? Nope. Okay, well, guess we're done. Hey, Dante. Pet Dante. Paul Amsel. As you step forward, the rest of the team falls silent. Amsel shifts his attention to you. You can see the worry on his face. Renairen, I have information. I'm afraid that the news isn't good. So you said over the comm. Go on, we're listening. 2 years ago, a large shipment of highly lethal radioactive bioweapon disappeared en route to a storage facility in Dresden. The weapon was designated X-15. I have traced the path of the missing shipment. It was delivered to the Harfield Manor. Well, that sounds horrible. It is. I've heard of this stuff before. Back in the service, we called it Doom. I've never run across it in the wild, but I've heard enough horror stories to know that I don't want to. The stories you've heard are correct. This Doom is an extremely dangerous substance. He gestures to a technical document on his computer's display. I've been reading up. To this day, the story of Doom remains a cautionary tale in biotech circles. Monoclonal antibody technology is strictly regulated now, and this substance is one of the reasons why. What does this stuff do exactly? Amso clears his throat and reads out loud from the information on his screen. Doom kills by destroying a host's muscle tissue via radioactive decay. Each individual Doom antibody is bound to a radioactive bismuth-212 isotope. When introduced into a host, these antibodies bind to surface-level muscle tissue. The tissue is then killed with alpha radiation. This process repeats until the host wastes away and dies. Jesus. Iger nods grimly. I've heard that Doom was deployed in a couple of border skirmishes back in 41. After seeing what it did to people up close, the UCAS passed a unilateral ban on the stuff. That doesn't tell you how bad it is. Nothing will. Okay, so I hesitate to ask, but what would a dragon want with this Drek? Nothing good. That much goes without saying. This development worries me, Renairen. It worries me greatly. If the dragon is stockpiling bioweapons, we've got an even bigger problem than we thought on our hands. There is a moment of silence. Then Dietrich speaks up. Well, in my book, this doesn't change anything. I mean, it ups the stakes if the Firewing's allowed to carry out her plans, whatever those might be. And we're going to stop her before that happens. That was always the plan. As far as I'm concerned, it's still the plan now. I agree with Dietrich. We need to focus on what's in front of us. Whatever the dragon's larger plans might be, the fact that she is after us. We shouldn't let ourselves get distracted by anything else. Amsel is slow to respond. Finally, he nods. Yes, I concur. For the time being, we must continue forward, and that means you must continue working toward raising Alice's fee. I'll leave the matter in your capable hands, Renairen. When you've acquired the necessary funds and are ready to head back out to the rabbit hole, let me know. From there, we will discuss our next steps. Iger nods. Good. If you need me, I'll be getting prepared for the next run. Right behind you, love. Dietrich casts a backward glance at Glory. If any of this has had an impact on her, she doesn't show it. Come on, Glory, let's go. Yikes. Paul's got nothing else to say. How about Dietrich? Any updates on Alexander? Nothing new, boss. He's adjusting. It's gonna take time. How about our last run? There was nothing about that run that didn't disgust me. What they did to that troll, he shudders, wasn't right, boss. On any level. I don't care what anyone tells you. You listen to me, Renairen. What you did, killing that thing, it was the right call. Yeah, it cost us some Nuyen, but letting that thing live would have been a travesty. Back when you took on Humanus, you said that you fought in the Night of Rage. I'd like to hear more about that. He nods, then fishes in his jacket pocket for his flask. All right, boss, we can talk about it. So I already mentioned that Berlin's punks and anarchists were joining forces to fight off the racists, right? And after a long, bloody fight, we beat them. What I didn't mention is how I figured into all of this. I'm an anarchist at heart, always have been, but at the time I fit squarely into the punk camp. I was 32 at the time. Messakampf was still touring. Not as much as we did when we were kids, but we had a following. I guess it was sort of an elder statesman for the scene. When we rallied to fight the racists, my followers came along for the ride. A bunch of young kids full of piss and vinegar and the immortality of youth. I was full of that good old Dragon Slayer spirit, pissed off and itching for a fight. And now he's Australian again. And so I led those kids into the fray. They waded into the riot right alongside me, yelling and screaming with their fists in the air. I don't remember a whole lot of the fight itself, boss, but I do remember the aftermath. A lot of the kids that followed me had grown up listening to my music. They had all of my attitude, Renairen, but none of them had my magic. And youthful enthusiasm is no defense against a knife or a handgun. I left the punk scene for all the reasons I told you, boss. But there was a bigger reason, and I saw it in these kids' broken bodies. This road that I'm on, it leads to the grave. I've got the power to make it a leisurely trip, make no mistake. This is where I'm headed. Those kids tried to follow in my footsteps. They wound up sprinting ahead of me instead. Better for me to stay out of the public eye and stick to the shadows. My stint as a role model was ill-advised. Have you put any thought into what I said earlier? Yeah, boss, I have. It's an interesting idea, but there are risks. I'm thinking that this might not be the best of times to approach him about it. He's the source of my magic, remember? If our discussion turned into an argument, he could take all of that magic back in a heartbeat. Then where would we be? From what you told me with the Dragon Slayer, I don't think he'd like the way you're talking. Since when has he ever encouraged you to back down from a fight? You've got a point there, boss. He wouldn't want me to back down ever, not even from him. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'll ask the Dragon Slayer about shifting priorities, I guess you'd say. Taking on some deserving organization, and calling off the hunt for something more impressive than Firewing. Of course, a fight like that would never really end. Never gonna bring down a corp or a polyclub all on my lonesome. He shrugs. But maybe that's not a bad thing. It'd take a lot of the guesswork out of life. I don't know, boss. If you have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. Why tie yourself to a specific group? I say keep it fluid. Stomp anyone that threatens the flux. Isn't that what Berlin is all about? I'm gonna skip that one for a reason that'll come up later. You've already done some damage to Humanus. How about them? Could they be your new white whale after we're done with all of this? Tempting, but like you said, I've already kicked the holy hell out of them. Twice. If I'm gonna do this, it needs to be a step forward. The Dragon Slayer won't be satisfied with me retreading old ground. Alright. Why tie yourself to a specific group then? Let's go after Berlin. Let's protect Berlin. He cocks his head. Interesting. That's a different approach, but I like it. Hang on a second. I'll ask. He closes his eyes and concentrates. Minutes pass. Slowly, a smile creeps across his face. Dietrich opens his eyes and turns to face you. Yeah, I think he'd like this plan just fine. That was it? That was all it took? The Dragon Slayer doesn't like to mince words, boss. If he didn't like the plan, he'd have told me. Dietrich's grin widens. He looks more at ease than you've ever seen him. Well, boss, got myself a plan and a new target to boot. That's assuming, of course, that any of us make it through our current predicament alive. You know, Dietrich, now that you've got a handle on your connection with the Dragon Slayer, you could probably reach out to your old community again. Berlin's punks could benefit from your experience. He nods. Yeah, boss. I was thinking the same thing. Maybe I could give back a bit, fix some of the damage I caused in my misspent youth. After we're finished dealing with the crisis in front of us, that is. It's a good thought anyway. I'll keep it in mind. Yeah, nothing else right now, Dietrich. Or is there, Dietrich? No, there's not. Iger, anything to add? Iger glances up from her PDA at the sound of your approach. Renairen, this isn't the best of times. Her body language is self-assured, but you can hear the anxiety in her voice. Something has her worried, and in a big way. Talk to me, Iger. If something's put you on edge, I want to know what it is. There's a long pause. Finally, she turns her PDA so that you can look at the screen. This. The image that greets you is a holopic of a rail-thin orc with jet black hair. Who am I looking at? His name is Yuli Kozlov, but he's better known by his handle, The Engineer. He's a mercenary, ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in his field. I ran up against me in my KSK days. Tell me more. His specialties are social engineering and wet work. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of the opposition, and forges allegiances with existing street gangs. All of the groundwork that a syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news, Renairen. My contact spotted him in Shatnest. That's a little too close to the cruise bazaar for comfort. Exactly. I've seen what the engineer can do up close. My KSK unit tracked him a few years ago. I had him in the sights of my rifle, but I was ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day, I regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town that he was softening up after the syndicate moved in. Renairen, I have to stop him before it's too late. What happened to that town? It can't be allowed to happen again in Shatnest. Agreed. Do you know who he's working for now? The safest bet would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. His client list is longer than you'd expect. Got any examples? Well, I know for a fact that he's worked for mafia groups operating inside and outside of Russia, and he put in a lot of time with the Lobachevsky syndicate. He's worked for the Triads as well. My contacts tell me that he's even done some work for Tanamus. That is a hell of a resume. Yeah, it is. She bites her lip and stares at the image on the PDA for a moment. So, long story short, I'm gonna have to step out for a mission or two. I know how important it is that we resolve the Furschwing situation. I get it. But I can't just sit back and let this happen. She shakes her head. I won't. So we can say, no, you stay, because I'm team leader and what I say goes. You can let her go, or if the Cruise Bazaar is at risk, this is too important a job to rest on the shoulders of one person. I'm going with you. End of story. All right, fearless leader. You're right, I could use the help. But the others, they can't know about this. This is going to have to be a quiet job. 2 people max. You sure you're prepared for this? If you can't hold up your end, I'll be better off on my own. Don't worry about me. I'm solid. Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things and meet me at Der Weinkeller. I've got a contact who's going to join us there, and he can help us figure out our next step. Hey, there's a reason to go to Der Weinkeller. There we go. Glory favors you with a weak smile, her expression cautious. You're suddenly aware of how very small she is. Hoi, Renairen. I've got to admit, I've been dreading this. So, now that you know what I've done, what I am, are you here to tell me off? I wouldn't blame you if you were. No, Glory, I'm not here to tell you off. Truth be told, I wanted to check in and see how you were doing. Not great. Struggling. But how do you expect? We left off in a bad place last time. I've been thinking about your story and I have a question for you. Yeah? What's that? Well, you got away from Harrow, but he's still out there. If you're looking to atone for your past, don't you think that shutting him down would be a good place to start? She holds her silence for a long time. Finally, she nods. Yes. I've been thinking about this for a long time, Renairen. Every time I've gotten close to making a decision, I've turned and run away again. No more running. I'm ready to face this thing, but I can't do it alone. I'm gonna need your help. That's the idea. Alright, if we're going to do this, we need to be clear on what our goal is. There are a lot of innocent people in there. Lost street kids who got suckered in by Marta, and the other girls like her. Saving them won't be easy, but it feels like the right thing to do. But then, there's also Harrow to consider. I want that man dead. Lord knows he deserves it. And if we don't make killing him our top priority, he might get away from us. If that happens, if he runs, he'll eventually start up another cult somewhere else, where we can't find him. And all of this will have been for nothing. We're likely to run into complications as well, so I think we need to make a decision here, up front. What would you do in my place? Rescue the kids or take down Harrow? I don't think we can manage both. Ooh, do we save the kids or we go for the long-term goal of yours? I think we've got to take out Harrow. Save as many as we can, but we can't just let him do this again. We wipe out the cult, starting with Harrow. As long as he's alive, he can just start all of this over again. We'll save any cultists that we can, but the ones that are too far gone will have to be put down. Harrow needs to die. I don't want any other kids hurt or killed, but Harrow, the bastard has to pay for what he did to me. She stops, as if suddenly unsure of herself. A moment later, a newfound confidence seems to seize her. She looks to you, and there is fire in her eyes. He has to pay for what he did to all of us. I won't let this happen again. He needs to die. You're damned right he does. Meet me at the van when you're ready to go. It's a long drive from here to the Schönbuch. She nods. I'll see you there. So, more side quests, viewers. Blitz, what do you got to say? Any thoughts about that last run? At the sound of your approach, Blitz stubs out a cigarette. He gives you a curt nod. Renairen, I'd offer you a smoke, but that was my last run. His eyes lit up in excitement. The Mark 6 was an incredible piece of engineering, Chief. Never seen anything like it before. And in fact, it was rigger-enabled. Oh man, the potential ramifications of this technology are staggering. It's a pity that we had to kill the thing. I mean, yeah, I get it. It must have been horrible for the troll that they installed all that stuff into. But it was a thing of beauty all the same. How'd that whole Emily situation work out? Turn up anything new? Yeah, sort of. Mostly speculation, truth be told. So what's the deal? Is she working with the Azzies or what? No, I don't think so. But I do have a new lead. After our talk, I went wading into all of the Az Technology Matrix hubs that I could find. Nothing too deep, don't worry. I didn't want to set off any alarm bells, but I had a hunch that if I poked around long enough, I'd find something that might lead me to Emily. And sure enough, I did. A message from the genuine article herself. She messaged you? Sure enough, sent me a note. Want to hear what it said? He presses forward without waiting for a response. I'll tell you, the note said, and I quote, "Lay off, Blitz. I told you to leave me alone. You've shown admirable self-control over the past year. Please don't give up on it now. I'll be back when I can, if I can. Until then, keep away from me for both our sakes." So, I found her, and she wants nothing to do with me. Again, no explanations, no apologies, a verbal pat on the head. I've shown admirable self-control. Really? She makes it sound like I'm a toddler or something. So did you lay off, like the message said? Hell no. I wasn't going to stand for that. Where did she get off stealing from me and then acting like it was my fault? I tried to trace the message, like any good Decker would. And did you succeed? No. She's good, Renairen. Better than I ever thought she was. I couldn't trace the damn thing. I could keep digging, though. I mean, if she noticed me doing it before, it must have been close. Now, before you say anything, I was more discreet this time. I can be subtle if I have to. Nobody knows what I was doing, and I did find another clue. I hesitate to ask. That's okay, I'll tell you anyhow. I found a connection between Emily and Seder Krupp. So, do you think that she works for SK then? That she stole the encrypted data from you to give to them? Well, maybe. I don't know, it's confusing. I was also able to track down some message fragments connecting her to the Shockwell narrator. So maybe she was a Seder Krupp mole, and she got close thing that she could, I don't know, so she could profit from my decking expertise? Maybe when she told me not to steal the data, she was using reverse psychology. That's gotta be it. She must have wanted me to take it. He frowns, then shakes his head. But then again, maybe she's with the Shockwell narrator and she's screwing over both the Azzies and SK. If that's the case, then maybe she was with me because she genuinely wanted to be. He pauses for a moment, considering. Then, all at once, he seems to perk up. His chest puffs out, and he nods once, decisively. In either case, I should make an effort to find her. I mean, she's playing a dangerous game, whether she's with SK or the Shockwell narrator. Maybe she's gotten herself in too deep. She might need help. I mean, why else would she send me such a cryptic message? Blitz, that message was anything but cryptic. She wants you to stay far, far away. Yeah, well, that's what she said. But I'll bet that didn't mean it. She probably just didn't want to worry me. Or maybe she said it under duress. I mean, you've got to agree that it's at least worth checking out. Blitz, listen to me. This is a bad idea, and nothing good is going to come from it. You worry too much, Chief. I'm the best, remember? So where's the harm in digging a little deeper? I mean, Em might need me. This is how you acted when you and Emily were together. I can see why she left. He recoils as if you'd punched him. Whoa. That was a pretty messed up thing to say, Chief. It was also accurate. You routinely ignore those around you because you think that you know better. I'm here to tell you, you do not know better. But Blitz, listen to me. You need to show some more of that self-control and drop this. Blitz deflates before your eyes. He looks down at his shoes. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, boss, you win. I'll let it go. Well, there's a reason I did that, viewers. There's a very important reason. But again, it's because this isn't totally a blind LP, although the two side missions we have coming up, very much blind. Haven't done these before. In fact, as a bit of a spoiler, in Dragonfall, the original, at the end, Glory goes off to deal with Hollow on her own. So this will be brand new. Likewise, this new ex-Russian Spetsnaz guy, also brand new. But when we come back, viewers, side missions. Time to help out the team. I mean, if I helped out Blitz, I'm definitely going to help out Glory and Iger. Until then, well, thanks for watching.